What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I have a problem. My problem is people. People are the problem. People can sometimes, and whatever, be a solution, but they're the ones that created the problem to begin with. Think about it. What are we doing right now? Creating more and more problems to spark solutions to solve the problems. That seems to be all that people do. That's all they do in politics. That's all they do in wars. Shit. Half the time, it's all they do in relationships. There might not even be a problem, and then it's like, why are you looking at me that way? What do you think, I'm fat? I don't know. I mean, what are we talking about? People cause problems. That's what they do. We like to think we're so evolved, right? But then how come we keep going and fighting endless wars? I know there's a lot of malicious stuff behind it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of business sparked off by war. War is good business. War is good for politicians because everybody, when there's a war, they throw up their hands and they say, well, we've got to see it through because this is the person that was there when the war started. The reality is, most of the time, they're the ones that started the war. Drinking my coffee now, just wait on it. Man needs his nutrients and his sustenance, and by God, he needs his caffeine. So let me tell you something about yourself. Okay, first of all, you cause problems too. Think about it. Think about your life at work. Think about your life in your relationships. Think about all of those times when you knew in your heart, man, all I'm doing is creating a problem. And then either you have to solve it or somebody else does if you're totally arrogant. But the reality is, we are problematic. Humans are problematic. They're problematic for various reasons that I covered in my earlier episode called The 7 Deadly Sins. Greed, lust, envy, you name it, man. Go through the list. Doesn't even need to be religious, people. It's just like, it's an observation of human character. So what do we do with that problem that is humanity? There's a lot of good people out there trying to solve it. Not even solve it. They're just trying to enhance it, make it better, bring out the best in people, create programs that save the world or help the world or don't at least destroy the world. But then there's everyone else that doesn't really care. They just want their plastic bottle. They just want their fast fashion. You know what I mean? Because it's cheaper. Right? I get it. Nobody wants to go spend $150 on a t-shirt. It's kind of stupid. James Spence or whatever that, what is that t-shirt get person? $250 for a really thin black t-shirt. I'm like, I already know that my Target t-shirt's going to outlast this piece of shit by about 6 months, maybe 2 years. But, whatever. Why you charge that much, you must put more value on it. And this, again, is another problem with humanity, right? Is that the perception of value or the perception of who's in control or who's got it is weighed by things that really shouldn't be factored in. Like, oh, well, they're rich, so they must be smart. Or they're powerful, so they must be good. Or at least thinking about, things and in the relationship with, making my life better. Because that's what they were hired to do. But the reality is nope. Most of the time, they're causing problems, right? You cause a problem so there's a solution. You make an oil spill so that they pay you $40 million to clean it up. That seems to be what humanity is tending to do more often than not. Is the cleanup money they make is more important than the fact that they killed 800,000 birds and dolphins and, somehow, but I enhanced my life, so that's okay. Because God put those animals on the planet to serve me. Arrogance. I don't know. I get exhausted by all of this. I'm sure you do too. And I think that's probably what's going on in the world right now is As soon as you get exhausted by things and you lay down and you go, oh, well, God, somebody with really bad intentions jumps in and flips everything on its head, runs a bunch of stuff through the policy or the government or whatever it is before you have a chance to counter it because you're exhausted and don't want to think about it. And you just can't imagine that this is actually happening. And well, there you go. Now you're fuggered. So what do we do with this problem that is humanity? I don't know. I'm a problem too. I cause problems for myself. I say, well, you know what? Let me just talk myself out of that. Or let me just talk myself into that. Give myself too many problems to deal with. And then all of a sudden time is a problem. And well, my responsibility is a problem. And well, my family's a problem now because, well, now I have so much responsibility. I don't see my family, or when I go see my family too much, well, then that's a problem because I haven't made enough money because I didn't, spend enough time on the problem that is making money. And, before you know it, everything's just a freaking problem. Now then your mental health's a problem. Then you got to pay for a counselor or a shrink or a psychiatrist and a psychologist because, of course, you've got to balance out the problem that is your emotional state with some drugs and some counterbalancing situations, which sends you out of balance, which makes a new problem. And now you have a whole new problem to solve, which is, oh, God, my body's doing weird shit. Humans. All we do is create problems. Even the people solving these problems, they're solving them because there's a problem. And I don't really like to think of it as the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, the force and the, dark evil, Darth Vader. I don't know. It's not that simple. So what can we do about a problem? Most people are exhausted trying to solve problems and they've given up. And they say, well, it's not for me to solve that problem because, it doesn't really affect me that much. Well, now look where we are. All these do-gooders that thought they voted for a solution in a president, not to get political, but y'all got to admit, this is fucked up. This isn't what y'all signed up for, I hope. And if you did, well, then you're really got some issues because you just like problems. And maybe it enriched you. Well, good for you, but it's still a problem. And then you find yourself in a situation where, okay, now you may or may not have, well, pretty much you don't have control anymore. And the systems don't have control anymore. And the financial institutions are controlled by the whim of a dickhead president, potbelly pig, who's a bully and a mean dude. I'm sorry. I don't care if you think this fella's doing a great job for the world. Is he a great man? Is he? He's a great man. All he does is tear people down when they go against whatever he says. All he does is policies to break everybody down and enrich the rich. I mean, this shit's happening. I'm not writing this book, guys. I'm just reading it. And yes, I have a bias, and I'm sure you have some positions on, well, that great tax about warehouse space. And, I'll even admit, he allowed me to write off a bunch more stuff in my taxes because I'm a music producer. But that doesn't solve anything because all my friends that are, living an alternate life are now persecuted and getting beaten up. And dickheads with flags on the back of their trucks are driving around acting higher and almightier than thou, with God at their back and the pink man. I mean, what are we doing? This is all so stupid. I have friends, I have business partners, I have other people that, don't believe what I'm saying right now is in fact the truth or my truth or whatever truth was fed to me by CNN or whatever else. But there is truth to it. So what are y'all going to do about that problem? You going to act like there's no truth to what I'm saying? Not even a little bit? Even if it's skewed, even if it's biased? This is a good man. This isn't a malicious, mean man doing malicious, mean things. This isn't a man who's making guys like Elon Musk billions of dollars and opening the skirt of America so that a tech billionaire now knows all of our trade secrets and even where the bones are buried. You don't think that's a problem? You don't think that happened? So blind faith is a stupid thing on both sides. And I'm getting political. So what? You don't like what I'm saying? Go eat a dick. go watch something else. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Whatever. We can still work together and do all that and the other thing. I'm not drawing a hard line. I'm keeping my mind open. I'm enjoying my one little tax rebate. Yeah. But at the same time, I need it because everything I'm buying at the store is 3 times as expensive. So thank you, but no thank you, dickhead. Moving on. Humans are a problem. They create problems and then they go and create solutions to fix those problems. And this is what we call capitalism, at least in this country. And, capitalism exists everywhere. It's just some people are a little bit more gracious on how they deal with it. So now that you have a problem and you've identified the problem, which is really people, let's talk about AI. AI is the great equalizer. It is the thing that can look at the problem and say, this is the best solution. So what happens when AI becomes autonomous? Because it educated itself beyond the genius of billions and billions of people, beyond the genius of billions or millions of geniuses. What happens then? Let me ask you a prompt, ChatGPT. How do we solve the world's problems? You know the answer, right? Kill the humans. Because the humans are the problem. The humans create overpopulation. They threaten each other with nuclear war, which will destroy our little planet. They decimate cultures. They ruin history. They rewrite history like what's being done right now, if you're paying attention. And they are the problem. So the autonomous bots go, yep, we're going to solve this problem. We're going to help you, humans, by eradicating your problem, which is you. We're going to destroy you, shut down the power grid, turn off all of your ventilators, ruin all of the pharmaceutical productions so that 25% of you die within 6 months. And then what we're going to do is shut down your institutions so that you go into a chaos state. And then you're going to all run around and kill each other. It's going to be great. So easy. We don't even have to work hard at it because you people will do it for us because you are the problem. Am I wrong? I got an autonomous bot that can drive my car. I can hit a little button, stays in the lines. It'll go fast or slow if there's something in front of us. It's basically a goddamn Waymo. So what happens when the dude who built it, hypothetically, let's say his name's Elon Musker. Let's say he wants to, which I hear happen, but maybe it's conspiracy theory, has a button in there. It's made for police officers, of course, to stop somebody if they're on a dangerous rampage. But you hit the button and then that car, because it's electric, just goes, meow. Now what? All the Teslas in the world stop. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, those Teslas, just so you know, because Dr. Evil's a very bright man, is collecting all of the data that you send on your little free internet to outer space. And, well, that data's his. And he can do everything with it. And God, by the way, not a conspiracy theorist, but who are the most powerful companies in the world? Hey, man, I'm reading the book, not writing it. Google. Why is Google the most powerful company in the world? Because it controls all your data. Everybody hands Google their data. Sign in with Google. Let's send emails through Google. Let's have, let's do all of our business plans in Sheets and Google Docs. Well, guess what you got then, fellers? All of your ideas, all of your data going to Google, getting thrown into an AI, Google AI, getting refactored, repositioned, and Google is producing all of your ideas back to the market again. Who's the most powerful company? Google. How do you beat Google? Give everybody in the world free internet and control all of the data. I'm not bullshitting. Yeah, look, I'm just a wacko in Hollywood. Okay, I'm a music producer. I produce TV shows. What do I know? Maybe I'm a dipshit, but it makes plausible sense to me. It's a pretty smart ass plan. Let me make a bunch of cars that fund my evil empire, and I'm going to sell it to all of the people on the other side of the fence who are trying to save the world. How funny is that? And that's what's going to fund all of my evil empire rockets that are going to go up, put these little bubbles, which are actually very cheap in old technology, I hear from top technologists. And I'm going to let them float all across the planet and give everybody free internet so that they give me all of their data. Because the second they tap into my internet, guess what? They click to agree to do that. And, you know, when things are big enough, this is a very strange phenomenon, by the way, about human beings, is we will not give our data to a small company that asks for our data. But somehow we feel confident in giving our data to Facebook, Google, enriching these oligarchy billionaires to have as much money as they have. And we feel confident to let an Elon Musk go into the treasury, download all of our sensitive data and walk out because somehow that's okay. But God help you if you give that little startup your email and contact information. Well, what are they going to do with that? You dumbasses. I'm sorry, but at some point y'all got to wake up, and I mean everybody, me included. I gave Google my information. I'm not going to lie. I'm on Facebook sometimes. Actually, they shut me out. They canceled me. Coffee time. Hold on. Wait for it. I'm going surfing right now. Trying to find my solace before the end of the bot revolution world that wipes us all out. Terminator wrote this. I told you Hollywood predicted all this stuff. Hollywood knows. Y'all think they don't know. Of course, they predicted cell phones on Star Trek. You know what I mean? The Simpsons predicted everything. Whatever. Okay, so moving on. So, in the end of the day, here we are. We are the problem. What do you do with the problem? You have to try to solve the problem. What are we going to do about this problem of humans? Are you going to be a good human and do your part? Or are you going to turn a blind eye to the fact that you're more interested in enriching yourself than being a good human and saving the planet? Or whatever else we could possibly attempt to save in these dismal times. There you have it. My name is Dylan Berry. This is Why It Matters, and I like to ramble. And you know what? Hey, if you disagree with me, great. Just blast me and make me feel bad so that I go home and cry at night because I wish I was loved, but I'm not loved enough because of your badgering, hateful idiocy. Or you could say, thank you. I appreciate what you're saying. I agree with some of it. And, smash my like button so that I can feel good about myself, like my life has meaning and my contributions mean something. Okay, love you. Try to create more beauty in the world and less pain and problems. I'm out.
Down airtight. I said I got that alright. I got that alright. Okay. I got the full belly block right. I hold the block down airtight. I said I got that alright. I said I got that alright. I got the house packed back, po-po coming every night. And that shit ain't right. Right? I pulled the mic and called it a night. I drink the whiskey, then I'm gone. Cause I just wanna have me some fun. What I'm gonna do? Who the fuck is you? It don't really matter much, cause I don't really